Good morning, and welcome to Tuesday's 8:30 a.m. yoga class. I am super excited to be here. I don't know about you guys, but this whole lockdown or sheltering at home has been creating a little bit more anxiety in my world than it normally does. So today's practice is going to be all about just letting go, which is what we do all the time, but we're going to especially practice opening up the heart, opening up the hips. So we're going to get really warm to start with those yoga burpees that we did on Thursday. We're going to get back to those and we'll just get a lot of heat going. And we're going to come onto our mats and do some deeper stretching. So I'm super stoked to be here, to be sharing Tuesday morning's practice with you, and also big shout out to North Cascades Athletic Club for making these videos possible and for sponsoring this and actually just making it available for everybody to be able to have a practice that helps to get us grounded and centered and focused on the reality of what's actually happening within us. And one of the things I love about teaching yoga is that it gives me an opportunity to help others to also go inside. And I didn't pick a reading today, but I got a new deck of cards. And these are Super Attractor. And I'm just gonna do a really quick little shuffle. And all it is just a little affirmation for us to set an intention before we begin our practice. And it's always a good idea to start settling in before we start moving our bodies, before we start our yoga practice, and set an intention, something that we hope to get out of the practice or something that we're working on personally, and just use that to either pull more strength and stability into our practice or just to, I don't know, just to have something to focus on, to bring the mind back to when our mind starts to wander off. That's one of the really good reasons to set an intention for ourselves. So these are called Super Attractors. I've only used them a couple of times. They're really, really pretty. But here we go. And I don't have my glasses, so yay. This is called, Instead of Worrying About the Future, I Know All Is Well When I'm Aligned in the Moment. Oh, that's so perfect. Show you guys the card. That is it, and it looks like it's backwards because I have my camera flipped the other way. But anyway, I'll read it again right before we go into relaxation. But these are just to give us something to focus on. Focus on right now, being in this moment, being in our practice today. Standing mountain pose, feet hips distance apart. Nice big breath. Just beginning to center, feeling grounded, feeling the feet connecting to our mats. Taking our mind out of thinking in the future, out of thinking in the past. Just being here right now in this moment, breathing together, moving together. Maybe close the eyes if it's comfortable. Just take a nice big breath in. Shoulders roll up to the ears and back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, then press the arms down. Shoulders away from the ears as we exhale. And then just bringing the awareness to the breath. And just imagining and knowing that as we breathe in, we create as we're breathing, we create a flow of spinal fluid, cerebral spinal fluid pumps up and down into the brain as we breathe. It's very subtle. But just see if we can notice as we inhale that flow moving up the spine. Then as we exhale, the flow moving down the spine. Just breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Again, eyes closed if it's comfortable. And just remembering that feeling, that sensation from Thursday's class when we had the block resting between the knees, feeling that pulling in and up, that root lock. And see if we can find that now. If we need to add the block or add that towel or blanket back, just to bring that experience back into our bodies, we can go ahead and do that now. Or just imagine that it's there. We have that strong base, that strong foundation in our stance. Shoulders are rolled back and down, chest open, fingertips reaching towards the mat, crown of the head reaching to the sky. And we're breathing. And just begin to add movement with that breath. As we inhale, we'll sweep the arms out and up, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, press the air down by our sides. Inhale, sweep those arms up, opening across the chest. Exhale, press the arms down. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, press the air down beside us. Inhale, arms up again. Exhale, arms come down. Inhaling, arms reach to the sky, palms connect. Elbows open, shoulders down and away from the ears. Feeling that strong foundation through our feet. Exhale, pull the belly button up and in. Able to still take nice full breaths. Feel long through the spine as we exhale, pressing the sit bones back, bending the knees, sitting into our chair pose. Shoulders down and away from the ears, palms pressed together. Strong foundation in our feet, light toes. Shoulders roll back. Feeling the belly button supporting the lower spine. As we breathe, maybe sink a little lower in our seat. Feet are hips distance apart, so keeping the knees in line with the toes. Then we're gonna flow with the breath. Inhale, press through the feet, reach arms out on that, palms connect. Exhale, back to our chair, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale to our chair. Eyes closed or open. And just flow with the breath, inhaling, reaching up. Exhale, back to our chair. Letting the breath lead the movements so we can notice and feel that space between the inhale and the exhale. Three more here. Your own breath pace. Two more. Last one. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, press the air down by our side, standing mountain pose. Flying bird. So if you've forgotten what that looks like, it's basically stepping back. I'm gonna show on the other side. Stepping back, we can lower the heel or keep the heel lifted, and then we open up and then step back. Then switch sides, open up and step back. Open up and step back. And open and step back. So from the side, open, switching from side to side. Inhale, stepping back. Exhaling, step forward. If we want to add a little chair, we can sit and flow. I don't know what I just dropped. Oh, I know what it is. It's my squirt bottle. So just flowing with that movement, breathing. It's reminding me that I need to spray us. So just continuing. Woo! Focus and breathe. Again, just building up that heat in the body. Whew. Opening up the chest and breathing. Finding the flow. Three more on each side, 6 total. Breathe and flow. Standing mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, we're gonna step wide on our mats. Feet hips distance apart. Wider than hips distance apart. Toes lined up with the knees. Inhale, we're gonna externally rotate those knees, those hips out. So starting with the hips, we open and the toes follow. Pressing into the floor. Arms reach up, 5-pointed star. Shoulders down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're just gonna shift side to side with our hips. Just feeling those oblique muscles activating, contracting to pull the hip, contract to pull the other side, contract. So it's not happening in the legs, it's happening contract, contract, contract. Woo, arms up. Find center. Reach long like we're untucking our shirt from our pants. Nice big breath in. Exhale, we're gonna lower knees, track with the toes, elbows. Press into the rib cage. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Back against the wall. Whew. Breathe, hold here. Keeping the tailbone, the sit bones higher than the knees. So some of us might be able to get all the way down, but we want to stay lifted above the knees because we're going to flow. Inhale, press to the heels, reach to the sky. Exhale, lower. Elbows in. Inhale, press and reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Breathe and flow. Let's do 5 more. Exhale. Breathe. Sunflowers are coming up. Feel the pause between the inhale and the exhale. 1 more. 5-pointed star, a little more hinge in the hips. Sweep the arms down and then reach back up. Options, we can keep sweeping or we can bring hands to knees and lower and lift. It allows us to get a little bit deeper and still be in control if we put hands to knees. But we want to avoid his head going below the heart and just doing this movement because we want that dip, that hinge in the hips, like a squat. Woo, breathe. Be here today in this moment, in this breath. Woo. Moving at your own pace. 3 more. And last one. Toes point forward. Soft knees, press the hips back, flat spine, fold. Head hangs. Nice long spine. Rounding, flattening the spine, sorry. Hands to knees. Come all the way up, reach the sky. Exhale, step back to the top of our mats. Standing mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up. Extended mountain, shoulders down and away from the ears. First round of sun salutations. 3 breaths for each position. Then we'll move to 1 breath, 1 movement. Exhale, swan dive forward, nice flat spine. Breathe. Feel the length in the spine. Feel the hamstrings opening and loosening. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose. Flat spine, tailbone presses back, knees bent as much as they need to get the spine nice and flat. So if we're feeling really rounded, bend the knees a little bit more so we can flatten out the spine. Maybe get a little spinal extension. On our next exhale, hands all the way to the mat, stepping back to our plank. Wrists under shoulders. We can come onto our knees or one knee. Shift a little bit forward. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Toes point back, squeeze the knees together, shoulders roll back, elbows squeeze. Inhale, using the muscles along the spine to lift us into that spinal extension. Breathe, nice deep breath. Whew. Toes tuck, pressing up and back, downward facing dog. Feet hips distance apart, tailbone pressing up and back, pressing the mat away from our hands. And the knees can be bent, heels lifted off the mat. Breathe. Inhale, press the right leg straight back. Keep the hips square to the mat. We don't want to open up because we really want to deepen that stretch in the back of the left leg. Breathe. On our next exhale, we're going to step through for high lunge. So right foot next to right hand. If it doesn't quite make it, we can always grab the ankle, pull it up, knee stacked over ankle. Finding that low lunge, square the hips, find activation and stability in the lower body. Then we inhale to our crescent lunge options. Back knee can be on the mat. Breathe. Let go. Feel that release in the front of the left hip. Hopefully it feels amazing. Exhale, shifting our weight forward, back foot stepping to the top of the mat, forward fold. I'm getting excited. Chair pose. Arms can be extended overhead or at heart center. Press of the heels, extended mountain. Breathe, lengthen. Shoulders down and away. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Press through the bottoms of the feet into the mat. Forward fold, exhale, hips press back, soft knees, flat spine, all the way down. Forward fold. Let the head relax, maybe shake the head yes or no. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose, flatten the spine. Pressing hands either into the shins, tops of the knees. Some of us may have fingertips on the mat. Just make sure the back of the neck stays long and we're not trying to look up and creating a lot of tension in the back of the neck. On our next exhale, hands firmly to the mat as we step back to our plank. Again, shoulders over wrists. Options with the knees. Again, shift forward. Lowering in control, elbows brush the rib cage as we come all the way down to the mat. Toes point back. Shoulders roll back. Squeeze the elbows in. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the glutes, and then lengthen and lift, baby cobra. So hands are free. They're just there as pretend support. On our next exhale, toes tuck, pressing up and back, downward facing dog. And alternate, press one heel, then the other into the mat. Breathe. Feel the back of the body open and release. On our next inhale, left leg extends straight back. Keeping the hips square to the mat, driving the heel of the right foot down towards the mat, feeling extra open in the hamstrings and the calf. On our next exhale, left foot steps to the left hand. Low lunge. Find that stable position with the hips, with the body. So we're not dumping all of our weight into our hands. We're super active through the spine, through the torso, in the hips. Option to keep the knee down, come into that crescent, or we can keep the knee lifted as we come to that crescent lunge. Breathe, shoulders down and away from the ears, hearts open. Whew, exhale, shifting our weight forward, back foot stepping up, forward fold. Feel the length in the spine, feel everything release. Inhale, chair pose. You find your position, hands at heart center or arms extended. Some of our arms may be just straight out in front. Shoulder mobility is a key here. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, standing mountain. Now you know all the movements. One breath, one movement. Standing mountain pose. If you need a break, if you need to take a rest, child's pose, down dog, or standing mountain pose is always there for you. Remember the modifications. The most important thing is to be safe in your body. If you're asking it to move in a way that doesn't feel right, slow down, take a breath, and then move. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward, nice flat spine. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey. Exhale, hands to mat, stepping back to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step through, high lunge. Inhale to crescent. Exhale, shift forward, back foot stepping up, forward fold. Chair pose. Extended mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg extends. Exhale, step through, high lunge. Inhale to crescent. Did my camera shake? Woo! Exhale, shifting our weight forward. Back foot stepping up, forward fold. Chair pose. Extended mountain on the inhale. Standing mountain. Breathe. Gonna keep the heat going. Take a stance, wide on the mat. Toes slightly turned out. Make sure knees are lined up with the toes. Nice flat spine. We're gonna inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Elbows, hands on hips. Shoulders roll back, then squeeze. Squeeze the elbows together. Drop the shoulders down, long necks. Nice full breath. Squeeze. Now we're gonna pulse. Squeeze, squeeze. It's like we're squeezing a little rubber ball between our elbows behind us. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Squeeze and release. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, we're gonna lower to a wide stance chair. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, wide stance chair. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, wide stance chair. Inhale, reach. This time, we're gonna bring hands all the way down to the mat, flat spine. Find that solid base with our hands. Step the right foot back, then the left, plank. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps up, outside of the left hand. Right foot steps to the outside of the right hand. Then we reach to the sky. Keeping the spine flat, keeping that core engaged all the way up through the crown of the head. Again, exhale, lower. Hands to the mat. Step the right foot back, left foot back. Downward facing dog. Right foot steps up, left foot steps up, and reach to the sky. Now we're gonna go one breath, one movement. Our goal is to hit 8 total. Take a break when you need it. I'll show some modifications and some alternatives along the way. Exhale, we come down, step back, down dog, step up, and reach. Down, step back, down dog. Opposite foot steps up, and reach. And let's do that. Keep going. Down dog. Step, and reach. Okay, some options. Step back, down dog, bend the knees, and come forward. Land lightly with both feet. Step back, plank, down dog, soft knees, hop forward, soft landing, and reach. Those are options. If you want to add a push-up here, you could do a push-up. And reach. Another addition is to go from down dog, hop, and then hop. Step back, down dog, step, hop. You decide. It's your yoga burpee day. How many is that? Does anyone know? I think that's almost 8. Breathe. Whew. And reach. One more. Let's do one more. Breathe. Feet together, standing mountain pose. Eyes closed if it's comfortable. Feel the heart. Feel that flow of energy in our bodies. Feel the breath. We're gonna do an easy heart opener. If you have something, a towel or something with you, just to bring behind the back. Bring the fists about hips distance apart. And you don't have to do this. See, I'll show you another option. If you don't have a strap, pulling whatever it is you're holding in your hands back. Shoulders, I see how my shoulders are rolled forward. We're gonna roll them back. See, that makes the elbows flare out. And I'm pulling the strap, then press. So as we're pressing, imagining there's a string right in the middle of my chest, in our chest, and it's lifting us up as the fists are pressing back and down. Breathe. Now, if we don't have a strap, the option is to just imagine that we're pressing that big rubber ball behind us, squeezing it together. We're still lifting and lengthening. Quite frankly, this is the harder version, so Breathe. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, shake the arms as they come down. Woo. One more time, arms reach up. Shake them out. Woo. Shake them all the way as we're down here. Let go of all that energy that we don't need. Whoa. All right, here we go. Inhale, arms reach the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Nice flat spine. Let the head hang, soft knees. Tailbones lifting up to the sky. So we have an internal rotation of the hips to open the sit bones to the back of our mats. Now hanging upside down after we got the blood flowing so fast doesn't feel good. You can always go into a monkey pose. The whole idea is just getting those hamstrings to lengthen. Or if we can just hang in this forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose if we're not already there. Chair pose. Extended mountain. And standing mountain pose. Shoulders roll. Little balance before we come onto the floor, but I don't want us to get too cooled off, so we're going to keep it high-ish energy. So it's very similar to flying bird, except we're just finding balance in the right foot. Length up, lift the left knee straight up, right knee, left knee, and then we're just going to step back, come to that high lunge or crescent lunge. Then we're going to inhale, come up, exhale, inhale. So you can add the pumping of the arms if you want. Or just keep hands on hips. But we're landing in control, landing softly. And now we're going to cross over. Elbow to knee. Opposite elbow. Opposite knee. Woo! One more. Woo! Standing mountain. Inhale, we're going to fold. Exhale, fold. I love my right leg. Inhale, reverse up. Nice flat spine. Same thing, left side. Find balance in the left foot. Right knee lifts. We're gonna start just slow, step back. Find the stability. Find the balance. Find the flow. And breathe. Breathe. Now we can add the arms. Whew, exhale. Ooh. So you just saw the modification. You can always just inch up, shorten the stance. You don't have to go back as far, or you can go farther. But be in control, not like that one. Whew. Two more here. And we're gonna cross over, elbow to knee. Woo. Two more. You got it. Last one. Whew. And standing mountain. Reach the sky, fold. Yay. Again, we can always bring elbows to knees. If having the head hanging doesn't feel good, you decide. We're just relaxing and releasing. Reverse up, nice and slow. Reach the sky, standing mountain pose. Now we're gonna make our way onto our mats while we're still nice and warm to get into pigeon, maybe. Inhale, exhale, fold. Hands to the mat. We're just gonna step the left foot back. Low lunge. We're gonna drop the left knee. Right foot opens out to the side. Bringing both hands to the inside of that right foot. Keeping the knee stacked over the ankle. And we're just opening out to the side. If our spine is super rounded, our work in this pose comes by starting to press the tailbone back and flattening out the spine. Now, if you look at yourself and you see, wow, my spine is so flat, what we can do is with a flat spine, lift the inside edge of the right foot and just begin to open that knee out to the side and bring it back. And then open. And then bring it back. So if you're feeling any tweaking in the knee at all, you're going too far. The only place we should be feeling it is in the hips, in that hip, that right hip flexor, hip joint. And then come back. We're gonna bring both hands over, or bring our hands across that front leg, the right leg, hamstring stretch. To start, let's keep the toes down on the mat. Play with the hips. This left hip might open out to the side. See if we can bring it in. Notice the difference in the stretch just from that small hip adjustment. Bend the knee. Bring that knee back. If you want it, child's pose, or you can just do some nice hip circles. We're gonna step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Same thing on the left side. We're just flattening the spine, pressing the tail back. Fists can be on the mat, or we can have palms flat. If you're super warm in your hips and you want to start working onto the elbows, as long as we're not doing one of these jobs and we're maintaining, I'm not there on this side, that nice flat spine. So just noticing in our bodies, today this isn't working, yesterday it felt amazing for me to come all the way down to my elbows. Now we're gonna just do that opening, shifting, opening the hip out. Again, if you feel it in the knee at all, you've rotated out too far. And come back in. And open. And come back in. So just open the knee out to the side. Coming to the outer edge of that left foot, then flattening the foot, knee stacks back over the ankle. Breathing. Feel the hip release. And last one, hamstring stretch. Again, keep the toes down. Makes it so that we can keep the spine a little bit flatter. As soon as we lift the toes up, it brings it deeper into the hamstring. But this is more about the hips. Again, checking in. Is my right hip compensating for me? If so, how can I start to build that strength again? Gently shifting forward, hands come back to the inside, stepping back Both knees to the mat again. We can press into child's pose, down facing dog, or those big hip circles. You decide. Down dog feels good. Child's pose feels good. Woo. Wherever we are, let's go ahead and meet in downward facing dog. Just notice how our down dogs feel. Are our heels a little closer to our mats, or maybe our knees are just a little straighter? Let's come back to all fours. We're gonna bring our legs around front. Come into a nice, comfortable seat with bottoms of the feet together. Butterfly. So we're gonna work into pigeon a couple of different ways. I'm gonna show you one way to get in. And if none of these feel good on your knees or your hips or your body right now, you can always come to that seated or reclined pigeon. And I'll just show you what those look like. So seated is this one, it's a figure 4 stretch, foot's flexed. If you go into the reclined version, we're here, and then you work by keeping the knee open, keeping the foot flexed, and starting to draw that knee in. So, if none of these pigeons feel good in your body, those are 2 alternatives that you're gonna get great results. So if you have a block or a towel or a blanket close by, it's a great prop for going into this position, bringing it underneath the hip and thigh. So if you have these, this is how it would look to go in from a seated position. And we're just gonna draw the leg back, pushing into the mat with the outer edge of my right foot. So this foot is super active. It's not just kind of flopping there. It's pushing in because then that helps protect the knee socket. Then the work comes by starting to square the hips to the front of the mat. Then the next step is coming up. Woo. So other options, if you don't have a blanket or a block, taking our time because we're gonna get into the position and then be here for a while. So this is also a good alternative. The work is trying to get that, because my hip, I could probably put that block underneath my left hip. Oh, we're back. Lost you for a second. So hip coming into the pigeon, we can just have legs here. So this knee's bent, and just sit here. And then if we want to start working that leg back, we can start working the leg back until it comes here. We don't have to. Pick which position feels good in your body. Maybe you've tried one and it doesn't feel like you'll be able to relax into it. It's okay. There's options. And then we're just gonna exhale, slowly start to go into our sleeping pigeon. So if you have a blanket or a block, you can always put it under the forehead. If you don't have a blanket or block, you can always stack your fists. Again, remember the alternatives. If this isn't feeling good, if you're really struggling, if you're not able to fully exhale without it feeling like a stress breath, then go to one of the other alternatives, because the idea of this pose right now today is just to continue to release out of our hips. And breathe. 5 more breaths here. Seeing if we can feel the rib cage expanding out to the sides on the inhale. one more big breath. And then we'll slowly start to lift ourselves up, gently using the hands, using support. That was a deep stretch into the hips for some of us. Slowly bringing that back leg around front. Slowly bring the knee up and just do whatever feels good. Either hug the knees into the chest, maybe a butterfly, maybe going into down dog. Whatever feels good, go ahead and do that now. And if you've already done your whatever feels good movement, let's move to the other side. So you pick the option that feels good in your body on this side. Sitting up tall, wherever you are in your pigeon, whether you're using support or not, slowly start to fall into sleeping pigeon. And we're going to be here for about 10 total breaths. If after 2 or 3 breaths you're still struggling to find that release, that relaxed pose, then find another alternative. We're finding that our minds begin to wander. See if we can bring our awareness back to our card for today. Instead of worrying about the future, I know all is well when I'm aligned in the moment. So instead of thinking about all the other things, just be here with the breath, with our pigeon. Two more big breaths. Slowly start to make our way back up. Again, ending with whatever movement, whatever position feels good in your body right now. Maybe it's straightening the legs, seated forward fold. Taking some nice deep breaths as we come out of pigeon, finding our comfortable seated position. Again, remember to do that one pose that makes you feel like you've completed that pigeon. And we're just going to come onto our backs for a supine spinal twist. So coming onto our backs, knees bent. Keeping the right leg bent, we're going to extend the left foot straight out. Arms extend out to the side, palms facing down, arms are at shoulder height. Then we're going to tuck the shoulder blades under so that our chest lifts. Then we're going to take the hip of the leg that's straight and shift it towards the bent leg, and then twist across the straight leg. Breathe. Let gravity do the work. Keep that right shoulder rooted down because it's going to want to lift up so we can twist deeper, but it really isn't deepening the twist at all. If we let the shoulder lift, all it's doing is letting our knee get closer to the mat. By keeping the shoulder down, we're actually deepening that twist even more by letting the twist be truly in the spine. Breathe. Gently using those oblique muscles, the muscles along the side, the core muscles, to bring us back to center. Switch sides, left knee bends, right leg extends, realign the spine, realign the hips. And then we're gonna shift that hip of the straight leg towards the bent leg and then twist to the right. Again, keep that left shoulder down. It's gonna wanna come up. Keep it down, let gravity take control. Let the breath flow. You might feel on the inhale the knee lifts a little bit, and on the exhale it lowers. Ooh, 2 more breaths here. And then gently untwist. Shifting our hips back to neutral, lengthening through the spine. I'm just gonna hug both knees in towards the chest. I'm just hugging from the back of the knees, not on the shins. And drop the tailbone down. Bring the knees each side of the rib cage. Make circles with the ankles in both directions. Maybe we rock side to side. If this feels good, we can stay here. If we want a little deeper hip opener, we can bring elbows to the inside of the knees, grab the outside edges of our feet, press the tailbone into the mat, then press the knees down. Shoulders relax, down and away from the ears. Maybe we rock side to side. Breathe. And gently releasing the feet down as we get into our comfortable relaxation pose. If you're lucky enough to have an weighted eye pillow, you can always place that over the eyes. It helps take us deeper into relaxation. Some other options, if we have a block or we have a blanket, we can always put that under the knees so that they're slightly bent, and that helps maintain that natural curve in the lower back. We're going to tuck those shoulder blades under again so that the heart space, the energetic heart space, is open and lifted, and it also helps the breath to come in and out with the least amount of effort. If you have a blanket, maybe place that over the lap or over the stomach, or just cover yourself up. And just breathe. If it's comfortable to lay with arms open out to the side with the palms facing up, that's going to be the most receptive position for our relaxation. But if you're not feeling like you can relax and you need to place hands on the navel or the chest or wherever you feel better, then that's also an option. We're just going to do some breath together. These are stress building breaths and stress relieving breaths. And the way that it works is I'll just tell you first, we're going to exhale all the air out of our lungs. And then as we inhale, we're going to start tensing all the muscles in our body, starting from the bottoms of our feet all the way up to the crown of the head. We're going to make funny faces and make fists and hold the breath in deeper, deeper, deeper. And then as we let it go, we're just going to let it go with a big and just relax everything. Just release all the tension out of the body with that exhale. And we're going to do 3 rounds of that breath. So wherever you are, whatever position you're in, letting all the air out of our lungs. Then we're going to start to inhale, contracting the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the thighs, the glutes, the core, the chest, the arms. Squeeze in. We're still breathing in. Flex the neck, shoulders up to the ears, the face, pressing the back of the head into the mat. As much tension as we can get. Breathe in just a little bit more. Hold it tighter, tighter. Let it go. Just relax. Whew. I'm gonna do that 2 more times. Let all the air out of our lungs. Then we're gonna inhale, contracting the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees, thighs, hips, stomach, rib cage, chest, shoulders, arms, fists, fingers, face, neck, ears, back of the head, face, forehead. Breathe in a little bit more. Hold it, tighten all the muscles even tighter. Breathe in more, and then release. Just feeling the difference from that tight, contracted feeling in our bodies to just letting it go. We have 1 more round. Letting all the air out of our lungs. Then contract the feet, the ankles, the calves, the shins, the knees, the thighs, inner thighs, outer thighs, hips, belly button, sides, rib cage, chest, shoulders, arms, fingers, fists, face, neck, ears, crown of the head, space between the eyebrows. Breathe in a little deeper, contract a little harder. Breathe in, hold, tighten, 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 and release. And just letting ourselves surrender to the breath, surrender into that relaxed feeling we're choosing to let go. Eyes are closed. Our minds begin to wander, just bringing ourselves back into the moment, back into the breath, back into our bodies. Come back to that comparing between that tension and relaxation. Instead of worrying about the future, I know all is well when I'm aligned in the moment. Let's gently begin to move fingers and toes. When we're ready, drawing one knee in towards the chest. And then just make circles with that ankle. And draw the other knee into the chest. Making circles with that ankle. Then either using momentum to gently rock us up to a seat, or we can roll onto our sides and then press up to a comfortable seated position. We can sit either with legs crossed in front, or we can sit with legs open out to the side. If you have the knee mobility, you can sit up on your knees. Whatever way you are able to feel super grounded in your seat and long through the spine. As we're sitting up nice and tall, take another nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose. And now opening the mouth and letting the exhale leave through the mouth. So breathing in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. On our next inhale, sweeping arms out and up, letting palms meet overhead. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. One more time. Just read our card. Instead of worrying about the future, I know all is well when I'm aligned in the moment. So throughout the day, throughout the week, if we find that our minds are continuously wandering off into the what ifs or the I should haves, bring ourselves back to this moment. Knowing that when I'm here, when I'm present, when we're present, that is when things will be okay. That's when we can truly see what we need and what's essential. Thank you all for being here, and I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Don't forget about the contest. Post in the comments before this live video ends your favorite movement from today. Gets you one entry, and then also post on your timeline a picture of you doing your favorite pose from the day, from the practice, and tag North Cascades Athletic Club, and that gets you 2 entries. And for Geeky Roxanne, if you post also why you liked that pose, I would greatly appreciate it. You all have an amazing day, and thank you so much for being here.